In this video, we are going to talk about multiplication of decimals using the area model. We talked in class about what area is and decided that area is the number of square units it takes to cover a closed figure or a polygon, in this case a rectangle. The model that we have here on the paper is 2 holes times 3 is equal to 6 holes. Okay, or 2 times 3 is equal to 6. We are essentially showing 2 groups of 3 squares. We used base 10 blocks in class to show the same thing. Because we've been using our hundreds grids to represent one hole, we can set up this to represent 2 times 3 equals 6. The array has a length of 3 units and a width of 2, giving us a total of 6 holes. We then moved into numbers that multiply by a whole number. 1 4/10 times 2. We modeled 1 4/10 with our base 10 blocks, showing an array length or a side length of 1 4/10. In order to make this array complete, we needed this side length to show 2. We needed to fill it in. We need to show 2 groups of 1 4/10. As an array, you can see that that is 1 4/10 times 2 holes. In order to solve this, all you have to do is add up the pieces or the number of square units that are in this. So obviously each one of these is 100 hundredths. So there's 1 hole, 2 holes, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my answer is 2 8/10. We then started to discuss what would happen if both side lengths had a decimal number. So 2 3/10 times 1 1/10. Again, we needed to show 2 3/10. So the length of this array is 2 holes and 3/10. The width is 1 hole and 1/10. So that means that from here to here there's 1 hole, and I need to show 1/10. I'm going to go ahead and fill in so that this makes a perfect rectangle. So I had to use some hundreds pieces in there. So now I have an array where I have 2 3/10 times 1 1/10. My total then, I have 2 holes. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/10, and I have 3 hundredths pieces. So my answer is 2 53 hundredths. So 2 3/10 times 1 1/10 is equal to 2 53 hundredths. This answer is reasonable because if I round this to 2 and I round that to 1, my answer should be close to 2. Let's do one more example. Let's show 2 4/10 times 1 4/10. Get a second hold on there. So I have a side length of 2 holes and 4/10, and a width needs to be 1 hole, and then I need to add 4/10 down here. In order to make this a complete array, we need to fill in the other places. So I'm going to go ahead and fill those in. And because tenths won't work to fill in here, I need to use my hundredths pieces. So there's my array, 2 and 4/10 times 1 and 4/10. What we need to do now is then take a look at our pieces and regroup so that we can trade out. For example, I have 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 hundredths. 10 hundredths is the same as 1/10, so I'm going to add that on there. And I can't regroup those hundredths, so those are going to stay. And then I have 4, 8, and then 2 more makes 10. So I'm going to trade those out for another whole. So now I have 3 holes. I have 3/10, and I have 6 hundredths. So 2 and 4/10 times 1 and 4/10 is 3 and 36 hundredths. Again, this is reasonable because if I round this to 2 and I round this to 1, I'm at 2. And both of these numbers are larger than, this number's larger than 2 and this number's larger than 1. So my answer should be larger than 2.